we just don't seem to make the right runs, or we're not playing the right balls, and it's understanding which one of those two it is. And I'm at a loss to understand, where we go from here from a striker point of view, because we know what we've got. Other than Norris, nobody's got a great goal scoring record in the league. Solomon's got a great goal scoring record, but it's at a lower level. We've got somebody like Patrick who can create chances, and we just need to work out a way of playing that. Either we decide, right, we're gonna go direct and like we seemed to a lot last night, but then we need to be better at getting round flick-ons. I noticed there was a few flick-ons. You think, okay, if people are reacting to that, then that could have created something. But we just don't seem to react to those flick-ons. Or we try and build, and we try and get out wide and get behind fullbacks, but we haven't really got the players apart from Patrick. You can't see any real players. Maybe Sam Taylor, but again, he's kind of a bit untried, untested, and it's difficult to see where we go. And is it just that we need a settled 11 that is playing a particular way? Because again, we don't seem to have found that way of playing yet this season. We don't seem to have found a settled formation and a settled style of play. But yeah, it's frustrating because there are some chances there, but they're not those, like you say, those clear cut ones that James Norwood, Andy Cook, or Chris Greenacre, or an Ian Muir would gobble up.
But then the difference with those players is that their movement was all significantly better than the movement of the players that Tranmere have currently got on their books. So that's why I'm saying it is a bit of middle ground. Like often Muir would be in the right place at the right time, or Muir had the inventiveness to drop outside the area and maybe create something with a quick 1-2 or whatnot. Norwood had the pace to get in behind so he could run onto the balls over the top. Cook, excellent in the air and with the ball at his feet, but equally his movement was good. He would just drop off that defender and give himself that extra half a yard. James Vaughan, just in that 18-yard box, he would sniff out a chance every time. I don't see any player in the current squad who has got even one of those capabilities to the standard of any of those 5 or 6 players that we've just mentioned. So yes, the chances need to be created, but also the players have got to be moving better, even if it's just that clever half a yard dip of the shoulder and then going the other way to make a run for a corner or a cross, or feigning that you're going to go one way, darting in behind a man, whatever it is. It's got to be better on both fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd agree everything you've said there. I guess the challenge is it's finding those players, isn't it? It's probably the toughest space in the team to fill with somebody who has that. And we've been fortunate to have some incredible strikers at Tranmere over the years, and we're just in that time at the minute where we just don't have them. And how do we fix that? I don't know. I think it's, you've got to spend some money, and again, we're probably in a position where we haven't got that amount to spend on a goal scorer, or they're not that common, for them to be that good. So it's a really tough one, and like I say, I don't know the answer.
So Tranmere haven't had a settled wing this year. There hasn't been a settled formation, and we saw that bear out actually. 3 in midfield and 3 in attack, with Jennings sitting in the middle of that, or sitting somewhere in that 3, and then obviously Patrick and Saunders either side of Norris. It can be a 4-5-1, it can be a 4-3-3. I remember when Les Parry was in charge, he often got criticised for playing Akins and McGurk out wide and kind of being told it was a 4-5-1 as opposed to a 4-3-3. But I guess the plan is to have it as a 4-3-3 in attack and a 4-5-1 in defence. What did you make of that switch in formation last night?
I think in the first half particularly, I think it brought some positives. We got forward more, and I think we were able to get the ball wide more often. Patrick seemed to have their fullback, beaten on a number of occasions. Connor Wood got down the left hand side. Often Saunders had a couple of chances to cross, had maybe a couple of chances to shoot, but his first touch wasn't quite what it needed to be. So I think it improved us. I think it gave Connor Jennings a bit more involvement in the game. And again, I think although it's not the Connor Jennings that we had last season, it was a better performance from him than it has been. But again, still not where we need it to be, I guess. So yeah, I think the change in formation did serve a purpose, and it did provide something. But like you alluded to, we've got to find something that works and something that we can settle on and something that gives us a particular style of play. And at the moment, like I say, we struggle with finding that, and it almost feels like sometimes. And I know Mickey was accused of this in the past. We're too concerned about the opposition, and not concerned about us imposing ourselves on a game. And I struggle to remember the last time that we really imposed ourselves on a game and we really took the game by the scruff of the neck. And that's what we've got to try and find. And it's finding a formation and the players to do that. I think there's a danger. I know people have mentioned it. Connor Jennings. Are we just trying to squeeze him in the team because of last season's form? And he's a great player and he's hugely well thought of. I struggle to imagine that is the case, but you wonder, is it a time to try different players? I think we've got, as we've said on this podcast before, Matt, we've got better strength in depth across the squad now. So they shouldn't be too afraid to try and give some of these players a run out. Whether that comes in the league or whether that comes in, the EFL trophy, I don't know. But we need to find something, a spark from somewhere. But the change I think did help, but not for enough significant periods of the game, and definitely not in the second half where we seem to run out of ideas.